Life is a journey full of beauty and pain. Sometimes it feels like a calm sea, soft and gentle. Other times it feels like a wild storm that tries to drown us. We fall, we lose, we hurt, but still somehow we rise, again and again. That is the magic of the human spirit. It bends, but it does not break. It falls, but it does not stay down. Even in the darkest night, there is a quiet flame that refuses to die. That flame is called resilience. Resilience is not something only heroes have. It lives inside all of us. It grows when life challenges us. It whispers, "Keep going," when the world says, "Give up." It gives us strength when there is none left to find. Think about the times you have fallen. Maybe it was a failure, a heartbreak, a loss, or a dream that did not come true. In those moments, you discovered a power you did not know you had. That power did not come from outside. It came from within. It came from the decision to rise again. This book is about that decision. It is about the quiet, unseen strength that lives within every human being. It is about the courage to stand again after falling. It is about falling 7 times and rising 8. As you listen, you will walk through stories and lessons that remind you of your own strength. You will see that every fall is not your end, but your beginning. You will understand that resilience is not just survival, it is transformation. So take a deep breath. Leave behind your fears and failures. Let us begin this journey into the heart of human strength. The journey starts where every story of resilience begins. It begins with the moment of falling. Let us step into the first chapter. Chapter 1. The meaning of falling. Falling is a part of every human story. No one walks through life without stumbling. Yet, in a world that celebrates success, we are often taught to hide our falls. We feel ashamed when we fail, as if failure means we are weak. But the truth is far from that. Falling does not make us weak. It makes us real. It makes us alive. When we fall, life pauses for a moment. The noise around us becomes silent, and we are left alone with our thoughts. We begin to question everything. Why did this happen? What went wrong? Why me? These questions may hurt, but they also open doors. They make us reflect, learn, and grow. Falling gives us a mirror to see who we truly are. Think of a child learning to walk. The child falls again and again, but never once does that child think of quitting. There is no shame in falling, only discovery. Each fall teaches balance. Each attempt builds strength. Without falling, the child would never learn to walk. In the same way, every fall in life teaches us something we could not learn otherwise. When we fail, we often see only the loss. But hidden inside every failure is a lesson, a seed of wisdom. The pain of falling cracks open the shell of our comfort. It pushes us beyond what we thought we could handle. It shows us the edges of our strength and invites us to expand them. Failure, in its deepest truth, is not the end of the road. It is a turning point. It is the place where the old version of us breaks and a new one begins to grow. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced moments of falling. They have felt doubt, fear, and hopelessness. But they chose to stand again. The greatest difference between those who rise and those who stay down is not luck. It is the choice to try one more time, to take one more breath, to take one more step, even when the ground feels heavy. Falling also teaches humility. It reminds us that no one is above failure. It makes us softer, kinder, and more human. It helps us understand the struggles of others. When you have fallen and felt the pain of it, you look at the world with more compassion. You learn to help others rise because you know what it feels like to be on the ground. There is a quiet beauty in falling, because it strips away all masks and shows the truth of who we are. It takes away the illusion of control and reminds us that life is not something we master, but something we experience. The moments when everything breaks are the moments when our soul breathes. They are the spaces where new strength is born. So, when life knocks you down, do not rush to stand up out of pride or fear. Sit with your fall. Feel it. Understand it. Ask what it is trying to teach you, because within that pain lies the seed of your next rise. Remember, every mountain climber slips. Every artist erases and redraws. Every dreamer fails before they fly. Falling is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are trying, growing, and daring to move forward. You may not control how or when you fall, but you always control what happens next. You can choose to see your fall as defeat, or you can see it as the beginning of something new. That choice will shape the story of your life. So the next time you fall, whisper to yourself, "This is not my end. This is my start." Rise slowly, breathe deeply, and take that one small step again. Because life is not about how many times you fall. It is about how many times you rise. And that rise begins with understanding the meaning of falling. For every fall is a lesson, and every lesson is a doorway to growth. The journey of resilience starts right there, in that quiet moment after the fall, when you choose to rise again. Now that you understand the meaning of falling, let us move to the next step on this path of strength. Let us discover the power that already lives inside you. Chapter 2. The strength inside you. Strength is not always visible. It does not always roar or shine. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is hidden deep within, like a seed waiting to grow. We often think strength is about being unshakable or fearless. But true strength is something more. It is the courage to keep going, even when the heart feels heavy and the mind doubts itself. Every person carries this strength. Even if you do not feel it now, it is there. It is in your heartbeat, your breath, your desire to survive and to grow. It may lie dormant for years, waiting for life to call it forth. Challenges, failures, and pain are not enemies of strength. They are the signals that awaken it. Think of strength as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Each obstacle you face, each difficulty you endure, each tear you shed builds this muscle. The world may try to break you, but every time you rise, you prove to yourself that you are unbreakable. True strength is also about acceptance. It is about looking at your weaknesses, your fears, your mistakes, and saying, "I am still enough." It is about understanding that being human means being imperfect. Perfection is not strength. Resilience is. Strength shows itself in many ways. It is in the quiet decision to forgive. It is in the patience to keep learning. It is in the humility to ask for help when needed. It is in the courage to start again, even after losing everything. It is not always dramatic, but it is always powerful. When life feels heavy, remember that you have survived every challenge up to this moment. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every loss has left you stronger than before. Even when you feel weak, you are carrying the proof of your own strength. The moments you think you cannot go on are the exact moments that reveal who you truly are. Sometimes strength is shown in action. Sometimes it is shown in stillness. It is in the persistence to take small steps forward. It is in the calm voice that says, "I can handle this." It is in the courage to keep your heart open, even after being hurt. Strength is the quiet flame that refuses to go out, no matter how strong the wind blows. You do not need permission to be strong. You do not need approval from others. The strength you seek is already within. It only asks for your recognition. It asks you to trust yourself, to believe that you are capable of more than you imagine. It asks you to rise, not because the world demands it, but because you owe it to yourself. Every time you call on this strength, it grows. Every time you use it to face fear, to endure pain, to rise after failure, it becomes stronger. And one day, you will look back and realize that you were never as weak as you thought. You were always stronger than the challenges you faced. Now that you have discovered the strength inside, it is time to understand the value of struggle. Because struggle is not punishment. It is a teacher that shapes your inner power. Chapter 3. The gift of struggle. Struggle is often seen as a burden. We feel tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed when life becomes difficult. We ask, why me? Why now? Why so much? But struggle is not punishment. It is a gift in disguise. It is life's way of shaping us, teaching us, and helping us grow. Think about how a diamond is formed. It begins as a piece of coal. Only under pressure, heat, and time does it transform into something precious. In the same way, our struggles transform us. They bring out qualities in us that comfort and ease never could. Patience, courage, resilience, and wisdom are born from struggle. Every challenge you face is like a mirror. It reflects your fears, your limitations, and your potential. It forces you to confront what you may have ignored. It pushes you to discover new ways to survive, adapt, and thrive. Without struggle, you would never know how strong you are. Without challenge, you would never know what you are capable of. Struggle also teaches humility. It reminds us that life is not entirely in our control, that even the most talented, wealthy, or clever people face difficulties. Struggle levels the ground. It helps us connect with others, because when we see someone else suffering, we understand. It makes us kinder, more compassionate, and more human. There is also beauty in struggle. When life tests us, it shows us the depth of our spirit. It shows that we can endure more than we imagined. Every failure, every setback, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to grow stronger. The pain may feel unbearable at times, but on the other side of pain is transformation. Many of the most inspiring stories in history are stories of struggle. People who faced extreme challenges did not stop. They fell, they failed, they were hurt, but they rose again. Their struggles became the stepping stones to greatness, and the lessons they learned became a guide for others. Even in everyday life, struggle shapes us. It teaches us discipline, focus, and determination. It forces us to think creatively and find solutions. It strengthens our mind, heart, and soul. When you look back, you will see that the hardest times often gave you the greatest lessons. The key is perspective. You can see struggle as a punishment or as a teacher. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. The choice is yours. Every challenge you face is an invitation to rise higher than before. Every obstacle is an opportunity to discover your inner power. Struggle also teaches resilience. It shows you that falling is not failure. It shows you that the more you rise after setbacks, the stronger you become. Every battle you fight, every hardship you endure, every tear you shed adds layers to your strength. And over time, you will notice that what once seemed impossible has become manageable. When life is hard, remember that you are being shaped. The storms are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to prepare you. They are meant to awaken the strength that is already inside. They are gifts that reveal the best version of yourself waiting to emerge. So do not fear struggle. Do not run from it. Face it with courage and patience. Learn from it, grow from it, and let it transform you. Because the greatest gift of struggle is the person you become because of it. Once we understand struggle, we begin to think differently. We stop asking why life is hard and start asking what life is teaching us. We learn that resilience is not just surviving. It is thriving through challenges. Now that we understand the gift of struggle, the next step is to train our mind to become a fighter. To think like someone who rises no matter what. Chapter 4. The Mind of a Fighter. A fighter is not someone who seeks conflict. A fighter is someone who refuses to give up. A fighter is someone who faces life with courage, no matter how hard the challenges may be. The mind of a fighter is not born overnight. It is trained through experience, choice, and commitment. It is built by falling and rising again, over and over. The first quality of a fighter's mind is focus. A fighter does not waste energy on things they cannot control. They understand that worry does not change the past, and fear does not shape the future. Instead, they focus on the present moment, on the actions they can take now. This focus creates clarity, and clarity gives power. A fighter's mind is also flexible. Life is unpredictable. Plans fail, people disappoint, circumstances change. A rigid mind breaks under pressure, but a flexible mind adapts. It sees every obstacle as a challenge, not a punishment. It searches for solutions, not excuses. Courage is another pillar of the fighter's mind. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting despite fear. A fighter feels the fear of failure, rejection, or loss, but still moves forward. They know that growth happens outside the comfort zone. Every step into the unknown builds strength, confidence, and resilience. The fighter's mind also embraces mistakes. Failure is not an enemy. It is a teacher. A fighter learns from every misstep and uses it as fuel for improvement. They do not dwell on what went wrong. They study it, learn the lesson, and prepare for the next attempt. Mistakes are not signs of weakness, but stepping stones to mastery. Self-discipline is another mark of a fighter's mind. A fighter does not wait for motivation to appear. They act even when they do not feel like it. They create habits that support their goals. They take small, consistent steps every day. Over time, these small steps lead to extraordinary results. Resilient thinking is part of the fighter's mindset. A fighter knows that life will knock them down, but they also know they can rise again. They accept challenges as part of the journey. They see obstacles as opportunities to strengthen their mind, body, and spirit. Resilience gives the fighter confidence that no matter what happens, they have the inner power to endure and overcome. The mind of a fighter is not just for extreme situations. It is for everyday life. It is for dealing with setbacks at work, disappointments in relationships, or personal failures. It is for staying calm when chaos surrounds you. It is for making decisions with clarity, even under pressure. A fighter's mind is also grateful. Gratitude may seem gentle, but it strengthens the mind. It shifts focus from what is lost to what remains. It allows the fighter to see progress, even in small steps. It turns challenges into lessons and struggles into growth. To build the mind of a fighter, practice these steps every day. Face your fears, even in small ways. Reflect on failures and extract lessons. Take responsibility for your actions without blaming others. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. Build habits that support your goals. Surround yourself with people who uplift and challenge you. When the mind of a fighter grows strong, it shapes your entire life. You stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the architect of your future. You rise after every fall, stronger and wiser. You see struggle not as punishment, but as a teacher. You understand that falling is part of life, and rising is your choice. The next step in the journey of resilience is hope. Hope is the rope that pulls us out of despair. It is the light that guides us through darkness. It is the force that keeps the fighter moving forward, even when the path is unclear. Chapter 5. Hope is the rope. Hope is the quiet voice that whispers, "Keep going," even when the world seems against you. It is not loud or dramatic. It does not promise that everything will be easy. It simply reminds you that no matter how dark life feels, light is possible. Hope is the rope that pulls us out of despair and guides us through storms. When life feels heavy, hope is what keeps us moving. Without it, challenges seem unbearable and struggles feel endless. With hope, even the smallest step forward matters. It reminds us that every fall is not the end. Every setback is not permanent. Every failure is a lesson, and every tear is watering the soil of growth. Hope is not pretending that problems do not exist. It is not ignoring pain or reality. It is believing that despite difficulties, something better can come. It is trusting that your story is not over, no matter how hopeless it feels today. Hope turns fear into courage. It turns doubt into determination. It turns endings into new beginnings. When you feel lost, hope is the compass that points toward possibility. It shows that the future is not fixed. It reminds you that your choices matter. Even in small actions, hope finds a way to grow. It is the invisible energy that lifts the spirit and strengthens the heart. Hope also connects us to others. It inspires people around us. When you keep going despite hardships, you show that survival is possible. You teach others that they can rise too. Hope spreads, quietly but powerfully, creating ripples of resilience in the world. Every fighter, every resilient person carries hope. It may be hidden behind scars, doubts, and pain, but it is always there, waiting to be recognized. You do not need to wait for perfect conditions to feel hope. You can plant it inside your mind and nurture it with patience, belief, and action. Hope grows stronger when paired with effort. It is not passive waiting. It is active striving. When you act toward your goals, even in small ways, hope strengthens. Each attempt, each step, each breath forward reinforces it. Hope is not a wish. It is a choice to believe in possibility and keep moving. Sometimes hope feels fragile. It may waver in the face of loss, rejection, or pain. That is natural. Even the strongest rope can feel weak under pressure. But the beauty of hope is that it can be rebuilt. Even when it seems broken, it can be strengthened by reflection, action, and faith in yourself. Hope also teaches patience. It reminds us that growth takes time. Rising after a fall does not always happen immediately, but every effort counts. Every day matters. Hope helps us endure the moments in between, when nothing seems to change, yet everything is happening beneath the surface. When life tests you, hold hope tightly. Do not let despair pull you down. Even a tiny spark of hope can ignite a fire of resilience. Even a single step forward, no matter how small, can lead to great change. Hope is the rope that connects falling to rising. It is the bridge between pain and strength. It is the invisible hand that lifts you when you cannot lift yourself. When you combine hope with the fighter's mind, with resilience and determination, you create unstoppable momentum. Now that we understand the power of hope, it is time to take the next step, rising again. Rising is not just action. It is a declaration of courage, faith, and strength. It is the moment when all the lessons, struggle, and hope come together. Chapter 6. Rising Again. Rising again is the essence of resilience. It is the act of standing after falling, of moving forward when the world seems to push you back. It is not always easy. Sometimes it is slow and painful. Sometimes it requires every ounce of courage and faith you have. But every rise is a victory over fear, doubt, and despair. To rise again, you do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have all the answers. You just need to take one small step forward. Then another. Then another. Each step builds momentum. Each step strengthens the heart and mind. Even the tiniest effort matters because it keeps you moving. Forgiving yourself is an important part of rising. We often carry the weight of guilt, regret, and shame from our falls. These feelings can trap us on the ground. But when you forgive yourself, you release that weight. You make space to stand, to breathe, and to take action again. Everyone falls. What matters is not the fall, but the choice to rise. Rising also requires patience. The world may not immediately acknowledge your efforts. Results may not come quickly. But rising is not about recognition. It is about reclaiming your power and moving forward despite obstacles. It is about proving to yourself that your spirit cannot be broken. Another part of rising is courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move forward even when you are afraid. Every time you rise despite fear, you train your heart to be braver. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a triumph of courage over doubt. Rising is also about learning. Each fall teaches a lesson. Each struggle strengthens understanding. When you rise, take these lessons with you. Use them to guide your next steps. Your rise becomes stronger when it is informed by the wisdom gained from falling. Support from others can help you rise. Sometimes a kind word, a helping hand, or simply knowing someone believes in you can make all the difference. Do not be afraid to accept help. Rising does not mean doing everything alone. It means using every resource, including love and support, to reclaim your strength. Rising again transforms your identity. It changes the way you see yourself and the world. You begin to see challenges as opportunities. You start to trust in your own power. You understand that falling is not the end, but a part of the journey. Every rise strengthens your resilience. It proves to yourself that you can endure. It reminds you that no matter how heavy the burden, you have the ability to stand. It teaches that life's hardships are not walls, but steps leading to growth and wisdom. So rise slowly if you must. Rise with courage, patience, and hope. Rise with the knowledge that every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Rise with gratitude for the lessons learned in your falls. And rise with the quiet confidence that you are stronger than you realize. Rising is not just recovery. It is empowerment. It is taking control of your story. It is declaring to the world and to yourself that you are not defined by failure, but by your ability to rise. Once we understand how to rise, we see the true power of persistence. This brings us to the next chapter. Chapter 7. The Power of Never Giving Up. Never giving up is the heartbeat of resilience. It is the unwavering commitment to keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult and the journey feels endless. It is the quiet determination that refuses to let failures define you. It is the inner voice that says, "I will rise no matter what." Life is full of challenges. Setbacks come in many forms. Dreams are delayed, plans fail, and people disappoint. Yet, those who succeed are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who never stopped trying. They are the ones who refuse to give up, even when the world seemed to say, "Enough." Persistence is not blind repetition. It is not stubbornly trying the same thing over and over without learning. It is intelligent effort combined with faith in your own abilities. Every time you try again, you apply the lessons learned from the past. Every attempt, every effort, every small action counts. It all adds up to progress, even if it is invisible at first. Never giving up also means believing in yourself. Self-belief is a powerful force. It carries you through doubt, fear, and uncertainty. When others lose faith, your belief can be the rope that pulls you forward. It allows you to rise after each fall, stronger and wiser than before. Resilience grows with each attempt. Each time you rise after failure, you build strength. Each time you push through pain, you develop courage. Each time you continue despite uncertainty, you cultivate patience. Over time, persistence becomes a habit. It becomes the foundation of your character. Those who never give up inspire others. Their courage lights a path for those who struggle. Their determination becomes a story of hope and possibility. When people see someone rise again and again, they are reminded that strength is within everyone, that no challenge is too great when the heart refuses to surrender. Never giving up is not only about personal achievement. It is about transformation. It transforms fear into courage, doubt into confidence, pain into wisdom. It shapes character, builds integrity, and creates a life of purpose. The more you persist, the more resilient you become, and the more capable you are of handling whatever life brings. Sometimes the process is slow. Sometimes progress is hard to see. But every small step forward matters. Even when you feel stuck, every effort strengthens your mind and heart. Every attempt adds to your resilience. And every rise is proof that giving up is not your choice. The power of never giving up is also rooted in hope. Hope fuels persistence. It reminds you that no fall is final and no loss is permanent. It allows you to continue, even in the face of overwhelming odds. When combined with action, hope becomes unstoppable momentum. Remember, greatness is rarely achieved in a straight line. It is born in the struggle, shaped in failures, and polished in persistence. Every fall teaches you. Every rise strengthens you. And every refusal to quit brings you closer to your potential. To cultivate this power, commit to your journey. Embrace failure as a teacher, struggle as a guide, and hope as a companion. Take consistent steps, learn from mistakes, and continue moving forward. Do not fear setbacks, for they are part of the path to growth. Do not measure success by others, but by your ability to rise again and again. The ultimate lesson is simple. Fall 7 times, rise 8. Keep moving, keep believing, keep striving. Your perseverance will become your greatest strength. Once we understand the power of never giving up, we discover a deeper truth. Resilience is more than survival. It is a light that shines within us, guiding our way through darkness. This light is our true power, the essence of who we are. Chapter 8. The Light Within. Resilience is not something outside of us. It is not a skill we borrow from others or a secret we learn from books. It is a light that lives inside each human heart. It is quiet, steady, and unyielding. No storm can extinguish it. No failure can destroy it. This light is hope, courage, strength, and wisdom all combined. It is what allows a person to rise after every fall. It is what transforms pain into power, struggle into growth, and fear into determination. Even when life feels overwhelming, the light within keeps shining. It whispers, "You are stronger than you think. You can endure. You can rise again." The light within does not always shine brightly. Sometimes it flickers. Sometimes it seems hidden behind doubt, fear, or sadness. But even when it feels dim, it is still there. It only needs attention, care, and belief to glow again. By focusing on our inner strength, our courage, and our purpose, we feed this light. Every fall and every struggle strengthens it. Every moment of hope and persistence nourishes it. Every act of kindness, gratitude, and forgiveness fuels it. Even small actions matter. A smile in a hard moment, a step forward when you are afraid, a decision to keep learning, all of these add to the light within. This light is also a guide. When life becomes confusing or overwhelming, the light within points the way. It helps you make choices that align with your values and purpose. It reminds you that no challenge is permanent. It encourages you to rise after setbacks and keep moving toward your goals. The light within is connected to the human spirit. It is part of what makes us resilient. It is part of what allows us to face uncertainty, to endure pain, and to create meaning in life. When you embrace this light, you begin to see life differently. Obstacles become lessons, failures become teachers, and struggles become opportunities. This light is also contagious. When you rise despite difficulties, when you shine even in hard times, you inspire others. Your courage and resilience show the people around you that they can rise too. You create a ripple effect of hope and strength. The more you nurture your light, the more it spreads into the world. To keep this light strong, practice self-care, self-belief, and gratitude. Spend time reflecting on your victories, no matter how small. Acknowledge your growth and give yourself credit for your effort. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Feed your mind with hope, your heart with courage, and your spirit with purpose. Remember, the light within is unshakable. It cannot be taken away by failure, loss, or pain. It cannot be hidden by fear, doubt, or despair. It is always there, waiting for you to recognize it, trust it, and use it. It is your constant companion, your inner guide, and your greatest power. The journey of resilience is not over when you discover this light. It is only the beginning. With the light within, you can face any challenge, endure any struggle, and rise after every fall. It reminds you that life's hardships are temporary, but your spirit is eternal. So, carry this light with you. Let it shine through your actions, your choices, and your attitude. Let it guide you through darkness and illuminate your path forward. Fall if you must, but rise always. Trust in your strength, nurture your hope, and remember that the light within will never fade. This is the ultimate power of resilience. The light within is yours to claim. It is the source of courage, the anchor in storms, and the flame that guides you through life. With it, you can face any challenge and rise again and again. This concludes the journey of understanding resilience, falling, rising, and discovering the power inside. Remember, fall 7 times, rise 8. Your spirit is unbreakable, and your light will always guide you forward. Conclusion: the journey of rising. Resilience is the heart of the human spirit. It is what allows us to face challenges, endure struggles, and rise after every fall. It is not about never failing. It is about choosing to rise each time we fall. We have learned that falling is not a sign of weakness. It is a part of life, a teacher, and a doorway to growth. Every struggle we face shapes our character, strengthens our mind, and reveals the strength within us. We discovered that true strength lives inside each of us. It may lie dormant, but it is always there, waiting to be called forth. Strength is not about never feeling fear or doubt. It is about acting despite them. It is about persistence, courage, and the quiet determination to move forward. Struggle, though painful, is a gift. It teaches patience, humility, and resilience. It shows us what we are capable of and prepares us for greater challenges. Every difficulty, every setback, every tear is part of the journey toward growth. The mind of a fighter guides us through hardship. A focused, courageous, and flexible mind allows us to face challenges without being overwhelmed. It embraces mistakes as lessons, learns from failure, and continues moving forward with hope and determination. Hope is the rope that pulls us through despair. It is the light that reminds us that even in darkness, there is possibility. With hope, every step, no matter how small, matters. It fuels persistence, strengthens courage, and inspires action. Rising again is the true test of resilience. It is the act of reclaiming power after a fall, of moving forward despite fear, doubt, or pain. Every rise builds strength, confidence, and courage. It transforms struggle into growth and failure into wisdom. Never giving up is the heartbeat of resilience. It is the refusal to let setbacks define us. It is the persistent belief that we can endure, grow, and achieve. Persistence turns hope into momentum and courage into achievement. Finally, the light within is the source of all resilience. It is our inner strength, hope, and courage combined. It guides us through darkness, inspires others, and reminds us of our true power. This light cannot be taken away, and it can never be extinguished. Fall 7 times, rise 8. Carry this lesson in your heart. Life will test you, challenge you, and at times overwhelm you. But your spirit is unbreakable. Your light is eternal. With resilience, hope, and courage, you can rise again and again, creating a life of strength, growth, and meaning. The journey of rising never truly ends. Each fall is an opportunity, each rise is a triumph, and each day is a chance to shine your light. Remember your power. Trust your strength. Embrace the journey. And always rise.